Ladies and gentlemen, we have the world's foremost rival to the United States, a nuclear-powered country engaged in a massive intelligence operation to steal our intelligence, to destroy us from the inside, that is engaged in sophisticated internal influence operations to influence people you may be working with in the United States. We were given some information a while ago, not this stuff on it, but this other stuff, but this is critical. They're looking to influence business leaders, academics, entertainers, athletes, media people, local and elected politicians at the national level, bureaucrats, unions, interest groups, to get legislation passed and to get information on the United States that benefits China and does not benefit you. Surprising to no one. Here it is laid out. This was an appearance by our Director of National Intelligence. There is literally no one in the country with more intelligence on this matter, other than Donald Trump, than this man, John Ratcliffe, who is our current Director of National Intelligence, DNI. He was on Fox News talking about what the Chinese are doing to work our system here, screw you over, benefit the Chinese, and cause internal strife within the United States. This is one of the most disturbing pieces of video you'll see in a while. Listen to Ratcliffe lay it out. Check this out.
You wrote a piece for the Wall Street Journal, and you say China is targeting members of Congress with 6 times the frequency of Russia and 12 times the frequency of Iran. What is behind Beijing's aggressive approach?
So they want laws and policies out of the United States that are favorable to China. And what they're really trying to do is through blackmail, through bribery, through overt and covert influence, trying to make sure that only laws that are favorable to China are passed.
Have you been to Capitol Hill, and have you briefed this threat information to lawmakers?
I was so troubled by what I saw from the position as the Director of National Intelligence that I went and briefed both the House and Senate Intelligence Committees on this information, which they found surprising and troubling.
I'm very sorry. I saw Catherine Herridge. I always think Fox. That is CBS. That is CBS News, full credit. Obviously, if you're listening on audio and you're not seeing the video, there is a CBS icon if you saw the video. That is CBS News, Catherine Herridge, who does excellent work, both at Fox and at CBS Now. Did you hear that? You know, I know John Ratcliffe is a relatively understated guy, so he's not as animated as I can be. So sometimes if the emotion isn't involved, you can miss what he just said. That the Chinese government is using bribery, covert tactics to get laws passed, U.S. laws in the United States that don't benefit you in a constitutional republic, that benefit China. And that lawmakers up on Capitol Hill know about it. How do we know that, Joe? Because Ratcliffe says he briefed them. Why haven't you heard about this? Why is Ratcliffe and now Tucker last night on Fox the only one sounding the alarm about this? Well, John Ratcliffe wrote a widely disseminated, viral op-ed in the Wall Street Journal last week about this problem, laying out top to bottom what China's doing to screw you over and get laws passed that hurt you and help China in our country right here, right now. He lays out in this op-ed last week, which again, I'm sorry for not covering it last week. There's just so much going on. It's like drinking from a fire hose. He lays out all of the things they're doing. One of the things they're doing really, put the op-ed piece up if you don't mind, Paula. One of these things really jumped out at me, so I took a screen cap. There's a whole bunch of stuff I'm going to get to here. I'm going to get to the Biden thing in a minute too, so don't go anywhere. The op-ed's called China is National Security Threat Number 1. Resisting Beijing's attempt to reshape and dominate the world is the challenge of our generation. John Ratcliffe, Wall Street Journal. Here's one of the things that jumped out at me that should really disturb you. I'll bet you never thought of this one, folks. He says, and I quote, "Consider this scenario. A Chinese-owned manufacturing facility in the United States employs several thousand Americans." All right. One day, the plant's union leader is approached by a representative of the Chinese firm. The businessman explains that the local congresswoman is taking a hardline position on legislation that runs counter to Beijing's interests, even though it has nothing to do with the industry the company's involved in, and says the union leader must then urge the congresswoman to shift positions or the plant and all its jobs will soon be gone. The union leader then contacts his congresswoman and indicates that his members won't support her reelection without a change in position. He tells himself he's protecting his members, but in that moment, he's really doing China's bidding. And the Congresswoman is being influenced by China, whether she realizes it or not. Folks, do you think the Director of National Intelligence is using this specific example because he just made it up? No. That example's probably in that piece. Just throwing it out there, folks. Just throwing it out there. Because that's probably a scenario that's happening across the United States right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the world's foremost rival to the United States, a nuclear-powered country engaged in a massive intelligence operation to steal our intelligence, to destroy us from the inside, that is engaged in sophisticated internal influence operations to influence people you may be working with in the United States.
You just heard Dan Bongino.